Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Today on The Real Female Entrepreneurs, we're serving up connection, collaboration, and a little caramel on the side. Meet a woman who went from crunching numbers in banking to sweetening up social media and actually real sweets as well. She's the financial queen for a boutique law firm, the founder of her own consulting biz, and the creator of crave-worthy gluten-free treats. Okay, now I'm starving. That is so amazing. I want to say hello, Marshmallow Magic. Bring it on, girl. Despite life's curveballs, God, we all have those, she leads with positivity, confidence, and a powerhouse network of phenomenal women. And this year, she's also the extremely proud mama of a UW Madison grad. Let's give a sweet welcome to the fabulous Laura Marie Kaiser. Welcome. Oh my God, you're so much fun.
Oh my God, I feel like there should be clapping going on.
That is so cool.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting. Thank you for having me on. There's something just so special about having a network of strong, amazing women, and I look forward to just expanding it even more and more.
Yeah, that's the key. Is just sharing what we do. It's just phenomenal to
Absolutely.
help so many other people. So, okay, something had to happen to get you to banking, move to a boutique law firm, right? Then you also have your own social media business and you do yummy gluten-free treats. Okay, bring it on. Tell me what happened. Something had to happen to bring you here.
Everything happened to bring me here. I think it's one of those things where, do you remember when we were kids and our parents or our teachers used to say, find something you love to do and then find someone to pay you to do it? I really thought that that was a big pipe dream. And so I was stuck in banking for years and years. I was a branch manager of a bank. I worked in commercial departments. I worked in cash management. Loved working with clients. Hated the politics about working for a bank. And I didn't know that like there would be politics in banking, but there was such a hierarchy and such a dog eat dog and cutthroat to move ahead. And at the time when I could have moved ahead, I chose to instead focus time on my son because I was a single mom. And so it would have been, instead of working 40 or 50-hour weeks, it would have been working 50 to 60-hour weeks to get ahead. And I was like, I'm not willing to do that right now. So yeah, finally gave up the banking and went and worked for a nonprofit and gained a lot of experience as a conference director. So can really rock out event planning now, which is great. And then I started kind of layering in the social media and realized that I was actually really good at graphic design, at creating logos, at building platforms for people from scratch on, anything from Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, how to build it from scratch, how to organically build it too, not just paid media, but organically building it and showing people how to do that. I love teaching as well. And when that kind of served its course, I said, you know what, I think I'm just going to do engaged social media full time because I've had it since 2018. And that job that actually as a side hustle allowed me to pay off my student loans when I was like 40, 42 years old. So it was very fulfilling. And I thought, well, I'm actually kind of good at this. I think I could do this. So starting in 2022 is I went full time with engaged social media and then also started working for the law firm of a really good friend of mine. And we're a fully remote law firm. So it's really, really cool that they also live in the same town as I do, she and her husband. And then one of the other partners is somewhere else in Wisconsin. We have an attorney that's in the Twin Cities, an attorney in Chicago. We have one of our project managers is in Mississippi. Our paralegal is in Michigan, and we just meet virtually all the time. And we have really just found the glue that works for all of us. We're an amazing team of people. And she provides this amazing culture that reminds me of what it's like to have amazing women surround you and actually know how to lead a team of people, especially when it's remote like that. So it's really, really cool. And it allows me to still have my social media company, be able to do the law firm and be able to be, successful and contributory to that and then also be able to do the fudge and caramels. So
Okay, now I'm hungry again. Okay.
I know you're like, ooh.
So you have a college age student son that
I
is
do. I
graduating.
do. Yep.
All right.
Yep. On Saturday. Yep.
On
Well, this will be after the fact. So he's graduating in May of 2025. Yes, from
that is,
UW Madison. I'm so proud.
I know you're the proud mama. I love it. So, but how did you balance? Okay. How did you balance the three positions? Because it seems like me, you've always had at least three positions you've kept at the
Yes.
same time,
Yep.
and raising a son on your own. Can you tell us how did that look? How did you do that? I know there's no such thing as balance in our world, but can you give us how you
Right.
maneuvered through it?
It's the other B word, boundaries. You
Ooh,
have to be able to say, I am willing to do this because this is what's good for me. And especially as women, I think as women, we kind of feel like we should say yes to every opportunity that's presented to us. But I think learning what our boundaries are to be able to say, yes, that's great for the company. And yes, I'd be good at it, but that doesn't mean I need to do it because that's not going to be the most beneficial for me on the back end. So boundaries and what's beneficial. So I think for me, it's been very strategically saying yes to the things that my heart is saying yes to, along with my head. Which, I mean, sometimes they clash, obviously, but it's kind of having that what's best for me instead of what's in it for me. It's what's best for me because what's in it for me is like that self-centered. I'm not only going to do it if I'm winning, but lots of things I'm going to do. I'm going to be winning, but is it going to be winning for me long term? Is it short term? How much am I putting into it versus what I'm going to get back out of it? So it's definitely been the big thing for me of trying to balance boundaries more than work-life balance.
oh, wow. I love boundaries because that is a tough word for us as women because
Yes.
we just want to just say, we'll do it for you. And
Yeah.
we get stuck.
I think as women, when we try to put up boundaries, we're usually called a bitch. And so it's how do you navigate being firm and assertive and polite without coming across as, oh no, I'm not going to do that because I'm better than you or whatever. And it's a skill that we've learned throughout the years, right? To manage that interpersonal. How do you present your own boundaries in a way that somebody understands what they are without being offended by them?
So I've been called before nice, nasty
Yeah, I like that. I
because
really like that. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'll smile when I'm saying stuff.
You have to. You have to. Because I think it's true with any relationship. It's not always what you say, but how you say it. So if you say to somebody, no, that's not for me, versus if you say, no, I don't have time to do that, they come across very, very differently. And if somebody asks you to do something over email, but you pick up the phone and you call them to explain why you can't do it, I think that sets a better tone versus just writing back an email and saying, ooh, I don't even know how to write this. I don't, and you kind of have that thing. And then somebody, doesn't know how to read your tone in the email and then it gets misconstrued. So I think it really just focuses on communication. Your best boundaries are conveyed when you really understand your communication style and the person you're communicating with.
Yep. All understanding those personalities of everybody involved, even yourself, is the key.
And we were talking about like with the DISC assessment, like we highly rely on the DISC assessment at our law firm, but I also rely on the Enneagram. I also rely on the Myers-Briggs. I mean, like you name it, and I probably know my personality type for all these different things because I think it all helps us understand how to relate to other people.
Yeah, the other thing is I'm a numerology freak, and understanding your birthday and your name, it really
Yes,
plays a huge part in understanding who you are and how you
agreed.
communicate as well. So all of that is just personality driven in such a high way.
Yes, and I think you have the personalities and the synergy with people that you understand their vibe. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you've had people that like you talk to them and you're like, I mean, they're nice, but I just didn't like mesh. And I think a lot of people either have a wall up or they don't understand it. But I think I've allowed myself to be the kind of person that I'm open to other people's energy and how can I match that energy and how can I be still authentic to myself and still have fun? Because if you're not having fun, what's the point of doing anything in this world?
Oh, that is so key. So with fun, what advice do you have for women who are actually trying to build their business and maybe are a little stuck, say in social media, what would you suggest?
If they're trying to build their business in social media,
No, just
is
like
that what you said?
with social media.
Oh, I think the biggest thing is to be authentic, and like don't use AI. I mean, you can use AI to help you kind of craft a post, but do not copy and paste it and then just hit send. You can use that as think of it like a bullet pointed outline. You still want to go through and make it sound like you. If you were having a conversation with somebody that's a good friend of yours, that's what you want that to sound like on social media. If you're a
Mhm.
casual person like me who swears, that's totally fine to have that personality on LinkedIn. Somebody reading your post on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or whatever should feel like they're having that conversation with you. If you come across in a conversation in a dramatically different way than you come across in a written word, people are just going to get confused and they're going to feel like they can't trust you. So you really, really need to be authentic, and you need to keep showing up regularly. If you post once every 6 months on LinkedIn, but then you're a lurker and you go through and just randomly like a couple posts here or there, yeah,
So
nobody's going to trust you either. Like a stalker. It's a stalker, right? That's fine if you search out somebody on LinkedIn and you look at their profile and you say, and then you think to yourself, oh no, my profile is the type that other people can see when I'm looking. And then they freak out and then they never go on LinkedIn again. Well, instead, direct message that person and say, hey, I came across your profile because I was looking at blah, 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 and went down the rabbit hole. And oh my gosh, that's so cool to learn that you do this, this, and this, and this. I'd love to chat sometime. Like, you don't have to make it uncomfortable. Like, you can totally look at other people's profiles on LinkedIn. It's not Facebook. It's not like you're looking up their address. And it's totally cool to put yourself out there and say, hey, we obviously have something in common. You're a badass entrepreneur. You are you're an investment, and you're working with investment houses, and not a lot of women do that. And I'm really excited to get to know you better. Love to pick your brain about this, this, and this. Let's, have a virtual coffee, or if we're in the same town, let's meet. Like, and I don't think enough women are comfortable enough putting themselves out there to do that, but I would love if they did.
oh, that would be fabulous. That would be fabulous.
Right?
That'd be so much fun.
I love when people DM me and I've never met them before, and I'm like, oh my God, I have a new friend. And yes, it's different than a real friend. But honestly, a lot of people that I've met through LinkedIn, even through Twitter, have become like actual legit real life flesh and blood friends of mine. And it's because of the synergistic conversations that we've had about certain topics where oh my gosh, we met through social media. That's so weird. And it's not in a dating aspect, but I think COVID has really encouraged us all to open up to the rest of the world virtually because we can. And so there's not a lot of great things that came out of COVID. There are probably 10 that I can think of at this point. But one of them, I think, is the ability to network virtually and be able to connect with all the people that vibe on the same level as you, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's being a thought leader on LinkedIn, whether it's people like you where you're doing multiple things and you're running your own business and you're passionate and you're excited. And Jesus, I want to be a piece of that. Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody can. It's fun. All right. Knowing what you've learned already in building your business, okay, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
Oh my gosh. 18. So I grew up in a really small town in Wisconsin called Eagle River. It's a huge little tourist town. I say huge. It was 1,300 people when I lived there. And then during the summer, there's like 100,000 people each day versus like the 1,300 permanent residents. So it's huge influx of tourists come in there all the time. And we just got so used to the influx of people coming in that we made friends like every summer. Like, you had to make new friends all the time, right? You got new groups of people that were hanging around all the time. And I spent my life so Eagle River is in a chain of 28 contiguous lakes. They're all connected. So we would be out on the boats all summer. I mean, all of my friends own boats. We're out on the boats, the jet skis, whatever, all summer, making friends with all the tourist kids that were up there. So I think for me, if I look back on those days, I would think, I wish I had stayed in touch with all those people and really valued the connections I was making when I was a very, very young adult, because I didn't really understand how to do that until probably 15 years ago, kind of when LinkedIn started and there was an alternative to keeping track of the people that you knew professionally, but not on Facebook.
Right.
So I really wish that I wish I'd thought of LinkedIn, but I wish I had, kept in touch with all those people and valued those relationships even back then, because that would have been big.
because relationships.
I did tell my son that starting as an adult. He's already got a LinkedIn page. Not that he uses it, but he's got one, and he understands why he should be on it. So,
And relationships is key to building any business.
absolutely. It's rapport and relationship building. It have to go in connection with each other. Like, just because I know somebody on LinkedIn, that doesn't mean diddly squat if I'm not going in there and engaging with them and they're engaging with me and we're touching base and we're liking each other's stuff. And, the best thing that I like is when I go to networking events and people are like, oh my gosh, Laura, I remember seeing you on da-da-da. You're everywhere on LinkedIn. And I've seen da-da. So cool.
Thank you.
People, yeah, it's like people are like, I feel like I just saw you because I see you on LinkedIn all the time.
Yeah.
And that's I think a huge proponent. And even if you have to remember, even if people aren't necessarily liking things and writing comments and sharing it, they're still reading. People are still watching, people are still listening. They want to know what you're up to. So don't be afraid to share what you're up to and share your voice. We've all got such a unique voice in this world. If you're not sharing it, it's just going to go to waste. More than your spouses and kids want to hear your voice.
Oh, wow. That's true. No, I didn't think about that. Definitely.
I don't have a spouse, but if I did, he probably wouldn't want to hear my voice either.
I think my husband just goes, okay.
Right. See, you can get better feedback with your network.
All right. What's one key strategy that has helped you advance in your career that maybe other people have told you, I don't know if that'll work, but you did it anyway?
I would say prioritizing raising my son, because I think a lot of people, like we were talking about briefly, when a lot of women, when they're given a opportunity for advancement, they jump on it because they feel like it looks bad on their career if they don't. And I chose to focus on being a single mom and working. I worked to live, not live to work. And so I only had one chance to raise my son. You get the first 18 years, you get 18 summers. After that, it's gone. And so I turned down a lot of opportunities to advance that would have sacrificed my relationship with my son, and I really focused on that instead. And I will never, never, never regret doing that. I just think that women are conditioned in this society to hustle. And instead of being heart focused and being able to do what they want to do, they're kind of encouraged to just do what's going to make their family the most money.
Yeah.
And I would really, really encourage women to follow their heart and say, what are the best opportunities for me as a person long term? So if, for example, if you take a banking job and your advancement requires you to work 10 more hours a week, are you willing to sacrifice that 10 hours a week for your family for the next 10 years? Because you really add that up, that's a lot of hours. You're talking about missing sports tournaments, graduation ceremonies, recitals. It's all that kind of stuff. It's not just the 9 to 5 at that point. So that's really what I decided very early on was I'm not going to sacrifice my relationship with my son. And
Wow.
am I a millionaire? Nope. But I have a great kid who just got himself through college. He's doing a great job. I've set a good example. He's also a hustler, but he's also very heart-centered as well. So I think that you need to set a good example for your kids. Do you want your kids to be burned out by the time they're 30 years old? Or do you want them watching you saying, I see what kind of boundaries I need to put up. I see how I need to balance this to make sure that I'm there for my family too.
Yep. Oh, that is a great tip. I love that one. All right. What about any future plans that you have? Do you mind sharing any of them with us that we need to keep an eye out for?
Yeah. So you and I talked a little bit about my podcasting. So I have 2 different podcast ideas that I want to explore. One of them is called Midwest Moxie, and I want to really focus on a Midwest perspective, which is obviously me. I'm very Midwest, very Wisconsin. But a Midwest perspective, and I want to have really cool conversations with all the people I know that are in my network so that everybody else in my network can get to know these people as well. Like, I don't want to be a gatekeeper to all these cool people that I know. I'm one of those people too, like when I go to a networking event and I have like 4 people around me and I know all of them and they're like, oh, hey, I'm Bob. And I'm like, oh, I just assumed you guys all knew each other and I'm the only person they have in common with each other. And I think that's so fascinating. And I just want everybody that's amazing to know everybody else. So I want to be able to kind of give my network that platform to kind of have that exposure and be able to put all their charms out into the world. And then the other one is called Badgers and Beyond. And I really want to focus on the Badger athletes who have gone pro in something other than sports. So and I really want to focus on having both women and men. I want to focus on like basketball, hockey, volleyball. I mean, all the sports. And there's a lot of people that I do know, but there's a lot of people that I don't know that I want to help them feel like, yes, you didn't go pro, but you are still amazing. You are still a pro. So I think that's a really important story that kind of needs to be told that hasn't been told yet. So
Well,
that's
that's
kind
a
of what
good
I want
book
to do.
too. That's a good
Yeah.
book. You're still a pro.
Yeah.
I like that. With all the interviews.
I feel like I need little stickers. You're still a pro. You were on my podcast. That's a good marketing idea. I'm gonna jot that down.
Yeah, jot that down because I love that one. All right. I know whenever I talk to you guys, I always come up with something. Go ahead.
Yeah. The one other thing too that I decided was I'm gonna do more pop-up events for my fudge and caramel. So actually, I have an event coming up at a local brewery here in town called Garth's Brew Bar. And so if anybody lives in the Madison area and is interested, or Wisconsin, let me know, reach out. But what I want to do is either do pop-ups and actually sell my fudge and caramel at all these different places. Or what's really cool at Garth is we're doing a fudge and beer pairing. So I brought him 4 different fudges that are like kind of like the cult favorites. And then he's got like, I don't know, like 140 beers there. And so he's got this expert tongue for beer. And so he perfectly picked out beers that would pair nicely with that. And then we're doing that this Saturday.
Oh, that's going to be fun. That is going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So hopefully the first of many, because, we figure if this works really well, we can do it again next month and like switch it up and have 4 different flavors.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But I've got a lot of things that I want to do that are, if I want to do something, I might as well figure out a way to do it. Right.
Just do it. Make it happen.
Yep. And then I'm still on the hunt for a few more social media clients. So I'm looking for people who need more engagement, but are not professionals at doing it themselves, or they really know that they need to be on social media, but they don't have time, or they think to themselves, gosh, I've got this whole batch of pictures sitting here that a photographer did, but I don't have time to use them. That's where you hire a social media specialist. So I'm trying to be better at self-promotion about what I do in the social media world so that people recognize when it's a good opportunity to work with me or refer me to somebody else.
Having a social media person, the manager stuff is the key to life. I will tell you.
Yeah,
now. There's just no way that I would be able to do it. And so, that would be a superpower I would want. But what would be a superpower you would want if you had it for one day?
Oh, the ability to read between the bullshit and see what somebody's actually talking about.
Ooh.
For sure. Yeah.
Almost
Cut
like
through
they
the
have
noise.
almost like they have a little ball. It's green if it's good and red if it's bad if they're not telling the truth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because so many people, I think that they're telling the truth, but it's literally just kind of a waste of, it's like a word salad, right? I mean, we all know the term word salad right now with the political world, but there's too much of that around where I just want to know what somebody's saying, what they mean, and just get to the point without all the garble. I would love that for one day.
Authentic truth, blah. Perfect.
100%. Authenticity is absolutely key. And I think especially since we've all gone virtual and we're all expanding our networks and connections and getting to learn other people, the faster and more quickly that you can authentically connect with somebody versus going through all that, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Oh, I hate all that. It's just kind of like, let's just get to the nuts and bolts. Like, oh my God, I love your hair. I love your da-da-da. Oh, you do coffee too? Oh my gosh, me too. What's your favorite drink? Like, let's just get to what people actually care about and talk about instead of, trying to just be professional all the time.
No, let's be you, because we're not all 100% professional, we have other
break out of break out of the cookie cutter mold and be comfortable with yourself and put that self out into the world. You do not need to save that for your family at home. Yeah. You can put that out into the world everywhere where you are, and people will love you and appreciate you for who you are.
So let's talk about that. Be who you are. So what's one fun fact about you that a lot of people don't know about?
I used to be a nude figure model. Whenever I play 2 truths and a lie, I always throw it out there. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That had to be fun.
It was very liberating, actually. It was at a time that I was in a relationship where somebody was addicted to pornography, and it really kind of tore at my heart and made me question my self-confidence and my self-worth. And this is when I was in college, so I was already dealing with a lot already. Right. And I had this opportunity to do a life drawing class. So it wasn't cameras. It was literally like charcoals and stuff. And so the very first day I did it, I was so nervous, but I'm like, I feel confident but nervous, which is a really weird combination. It's probably like the nerves when you go on stage when you're any kind of performer. And it's so this big gigantic circle and the students are all around you. So like there's nowhere to hide, which is another aspect to it. I think people think it's just front view and it's like, oh no, they're whatever view they wanted, they can have it. So so I did that in college, and it was honestly like the very first time I took a break and put a robe on and kind of walked around, because you do a bunch of different poses and they get longer as you go. It's like a 4-hour class. And as I was walking around, I would see what people were doing, and I was like, and I just kept thinking, you get that from looking at me? And it was so liberating. I wish I would have asked them to keep some of the things that they did, because it made me feel so like feminine and beautiful. And I was like, oh, what? Look, what? You made art from me.
I would be crying. I would probably be crying.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very liberating. I would literally encourage any woman to do that and to do like boudoir. I've done a lot of boudoir photography with some close friends of mine. And I think a lot of women think I'm not comfortable enough to do that. You know what? The boudoir is for you. And you don't have to be comfortable at the beginning, but I guarantee you're going to feel confident and sexy by the time you leave. And it's not even meant to be sexy. It's meant to be you feeling comfortable, showing up in your own skin and being your own true self in any way that you want to be. And so I encourage anybody to do boudoir and put themselves out there a little bit. You don't have to share it with your spouse even.
You
It
don't
can
have
be
to
for
share it
you.
with anybody.
It's amazing. If you get the right photographer, oh, they can do wonders. They know how to make you show up. They know how to work the lighting. They match your personality to the style, and your input matters. It's amazing. I highly recommend what do you call it? Controlled nudity within an artistic environment.
That's good. What about a favorite book?
Oh my gosh, my favorite book goes all the way back to my childhood. And this is going to make me such a Gen X. It's ridiculous. Do you remember Island of the Blue Dolphins?
No, because I'm a baby boomer.
Okay, so Island of the Blue Dolphins was this girl who this is oh god, probably like 30s or 40s. I mean, it was based in, right? And it was like this kind of like Aboriginal tribe almost. Like they were, I don't know if they were Indians per se, but they were Native Americans living on some island, the Island of the Blue Dolphins, because there were dolphins around it. And there was somehow a shipwreck, or they had to get off the island. Something happened. And the ship, she was on the ship, and she realized that her brother was on the island because he had jumped off to go get his fishing hook. Her little brother. And she's the only one seeing this. So she jumps back in to save him. So now she's on an island with her brother, fighting for survival. There's wolves, I remember. I mean, just anything you can possibly imagine. She's a kid. She's like a young teenager. She's probably 12 or 13. I mean, something young. And her brother was like 6 or 7. And I think it really always resonated with me that she did that brave act and that she was so independent and she was able to survive and thrive. And I think she finally got rescued as like an adult woman. So but I think that always really, really highly recommend you read it. It's very young adult, obviously, but it really, really stuck with me.
Yeah.
I still have a copy of it, and I keep it in a place where I can see it just because I want to be like, yeah, independence. That's what it'll get you. Independence and courage will get you far.
All right. Yeah. Another one on my book list. I always have, I mean, my book list is like rabid, you know.
Girl, right. you should see my TBR library. It's ridiculous. It is literally, I'm not going to say I'm a book hoarder, but my TBR list is healthy. Let's put it that way. Happy to give you any book recommendations.
All right. Songs. Do you have a song that you love?
Yes. A song that resonated with me as a kid too, growing up. And I think especially in the 90s, early 90s, and like, you know, just as you start to come into your own sexuality, it's anything by Salt and Peppa. Anything from None of Your Business to, you know, Shoop and all those different kind of songs that like basically said, I'm a woman and I want what I want, and I don't have to prescribe to your norms. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And if I want to do something, it's none of your business. And that kind of always really resonated with me too. And it's got to be my default karaoke song. I'm a terrible singer, but if anybody ever forces me to do karaoke, it's none of your business, because the second it comes on, I fall back into, I know every single word to that song.
Oh my God, that is so funny. All right. Favorite quote.
Favorite quote, and I don't have it tattooed yet. I've got about 50 tattoos, but I don't have this one yet. Faith is the bird that sings to the dawn while it is still dark.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That hits me. I get goosebumps every time I even say it. So I think I haven't gotten it yet because I'm still like, if I do it, it's like there, and I have to make sure that it's 100% what I want and where I want. But that quote always sticks out with me, and that has gotten me through some hard days.
Wow. And how do you stay motivated?
I think it's because I have a strong network of women around me, and my son. I think he's 22, and anybody who's raised a 22-year-old boy knows what 22-year-old boys are like. But he's already to the age that he says, "Mom, you are literally amazing. I love my relationship with you, and I'm so glad that we are where we are. And when he needs something, he knows he can come to me. And God damn, I did a good job. Like I look back and I think I don't know that I would have done that much more different given the circumstances I had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thankful that I'm somebody that he can always look up to and say, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to be yourself. But like, I gave him a keychain when he graduated high school, and it says, don't do stupid shit. Love, Mom. So it's one of those things that I said, you're 18 now. Like, if you fuck up, it's on you. I'll certainly help you out of whatever situation you're in, but they're not going to call me anymore. When you're 17 and you make a mistake, they're probably going to call me. I mean, not that he did, but when you're a minor, they have to call the parent, right?
Right.
And when he turned 18, I said, this is the day that they don't call me anymore. They're going to interrogate you for hours and I won't know anything about it. And he's like, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm like, I'm just saying. So I'm really glad that I raised a very strong, independent kid. Like nobody's ever going to push him over to do anything in this world. And that sucked when he was a teenager, but it's great now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So that keeps me going. I have someone that looks up to me, and that's everything.
We raised my husband's grandson. He's 26 now, but yeah. Oh my God. I totally understand. So, okay. What is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you and find out about your social media offers and what you have?
Yeah, I try to put everything on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is absolutely the best place to find me. Just search for Laura Marie Kaiser, and I've got a little bouquet after my name because, God, don't we all need a little bit of flowers? Oh, the other thing is I always buy myself flowers. I always say that, like, buy yourself flowers. I tell that to all the women that I know. Don't wait for somebody else to go buy them for you. If you want flowers, just go buy them yourself. You're going to get exactly what you want every time. Big takeaway for women. I don't care if you're married or single, buy yourself the flowers. So that's why that's on there for me. But LinkedIn is a great place to reach out to me. I'd love to connect with any other women. If anything of this conversation resonates with them, I would absolutely 100% love to connect, have conversations, talk with you about social media, about fudge, about parenting, about books. I mean, pretty much like you name it, I'm game for all of it.
All right. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we leave?
I have a question for you. Tell me what you love most about having started this magazine and what keeps you doing it month after month. Because you're so good at it.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love listening to your stories and empowering you and promoting you guys. I love that. That is like my jam. It's my heart desire just to encourage everybody else. I just got off of one of the calls with one of the girls, and she goes, I'm just wise. I'm leaning on wisdom. And I'm like, oh, I got that too. Cause I'm in my 60s, guys. And so, yeah. So the other thing is, I don't want people to think that they're in a stereotype and they can't do something. They're past the prime or whatever. If you have a heart desire for it, I think everybody needs to do their heart desire.
Absolutely. I'm going to be 50 in July, and I just keep telling the people 50 is the new 30. Old is gold.
Yep.
And by the way, you look fucking amazing.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Seriously, like you look amazing.
You're so sweet. I know how to put lighting on.
No, you are.
I know how to put lighting on me. But
see, and I'm so authentic. This is just natural lighting that's coming in the window because I'm like, ring light. That seems like a lot of work.
I love natural light. Natural light works better than ring light. So
Yeah,
It's the
true,
key.
true. I get lucky that my office faces south, so I get natural light that comes in. So take advantage
You got it.
of it.
Well, Laura, thank you so much. You were amazing. I had so much fun having you on. You were just a
Thank
total
you.
blast.
Thank you so much. This has been on. This is like the highlight of my week already. This might be the highlight of my whole month. Okay, maybe my son graduating will be, but still.
This will be the second one. Maybe I'll rank in the top 5.
Oh, for sure. Definitely top 5.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.